In the next 20 minutes, you'll learn how to get paid full commissions and dramatically increase your earnings from short sales without talking to banks. Hi, I'm Ted Lee with Neighborhood Realty Solutions. In our realtor training videos, you'll learn how to leverage our expertise and knowledge of how to process, negotiate, buy, and arrange successful short sale closings, regardless of who services, holds, or guarantees the loan. And you'll gain a keen understanding that it's the power of leverage that will free you up and allow you to focus on signing up a high volume of short sales, resulting in a dramatic increase in your monthly commission earnings. Prior to forming Neighborhood Realty Solutions, I was primarily engaged as an investment banker over the past 20 years, where I was involved in developing and financing companies. Early in my career, I managed domestic government affairs and represented a $3 billion multinational corporation to members of the U.S. Congress. About 3 years ago, I set out to develop our premier national short sale company, and I teamed up with an experienced real estate investor. After working through some business process issues early on, we refined our business and adapted our legal documents and strategies, enabling us to close 100% of our short sales in full compliance with all Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the too big to fail bank short sale rules. Typically, we close a short sale in 90 days, and our record so far is 75 days, including the time it took us to collect documents from the seller. Now, we process, negotiate, contract to buy, close and approve short sale transaction, and immediately resell the property with clear title to an independent third-party higher offer buyer if the separate immediate resale transaction is not prohibited, restricted, or limited by a GSE, that's Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac rule, or an approved letter stipulation. That means that we don't have a limitation in approval letters such as that the buyer has to hold the property for 30 days or 60 days or 90 or even 120 days. This type of transaction that's not restricted or not prohibited is called an A-B-B-C short sale transaction, where A is the seller owner record, B is the investor buyer, and C is the higher offer independent buyer that wants to buy it from the investor after the investor has cleared the title or improved the legal status of the property. But today, only about 10% of the short sale transactions are not restricted or prohibited from an A-B-B-C transaction. So we do these 100% of the time when they're not restricted, but these are only going to occur about 10%. And that merely means that about 90% of all loans are really underwritten or guaranteed or held by the GSEs, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So today, 90% of the time, an approval letter stipulation or a GSE rule will effectively prohibit an immediate resale of a short sale. The too big to fail bank approval letters will often say, as I mentioned earlier, that the buyer cannot resell the property for a period of, say, 30 to possibly 120 days. And the current GSE higher offer rule says that should the contract buyer be aware of a higher offer independent third-party buyer or any information that might inform the servicer or the investor considering the short sale to decide differently, then the contract buyer must provide that information to the servicer or the investor. Although the banks and the GSEs may lack the legal authority to impose these resale restrictions and stipulations and prohibitions, we comply with all the rules. To be clear, we are not training anyone to violate or ignore a rule, even if the rule may be improper or illegal. And we have no interest in doing business with anyone who knowingly violates any rule or requirement imposed by a GSE or a servicer considering a short sale. On the contrary, we have the legal understanding, the documents, contracts, notices, and disclosures to use these short sale rules to close a high volume of short sales nearly 100% of the time with our trained realtor partners. When we are working on a GSE short sale and we know that an immediate resale is effectively prohibited, we will arrange for a higher offer buyer to purchase the approved short sale property directly from the seller owner of record in a transaction referred to as A to C. When this happens, in consideration for agreeing to release our exclusive contract rights and equitable interest in the property, we receive a contract release fee from the third-party buyer. And we arrange for a reissued approval letter and final HUD statement showing the new third-party buyer with a purchase price that is equivalent or less than the total purchase price offered by the third-party buyer less the contract release fee. The non-restricted right to complete an A-B-B-C non-GSE transaction and or the arrangement of an A to C transaction is disclosed and made transparent to both the seller and the seller's lien holders in the supplemental short sale addendum and the listing amendment that is explained to you in the realtor training videos. The seller owner of record could care less how we exit or close the short sale transaction, as the seller is only focused on avoiding foreclosure and the outstanding mortgage debt. And the lender, who does not own the property, is agreeing to release its security interest in the property in consideration for a net payoff that was voluntarily arrived at in compliance with established contract law and rules conceived by the note holder or guarantor. Tens of thousands of realtors are perfectly prepared to pay hundreds of dollars to learn how to make money or more money with short sales. They know that 25% to 50% of all real estate listings are either short sales or REO sales. And they convince themselves they invested to know more about what the banks want, and they worked harder at the whole short sale process. They could make a great deal of money. But did you ever ask yourself, there's only so many hours in the day, so how can you really make $30,000, $40,000, or $50,000 per month working harder? Well, working harder and with more knowledge can result in monthly commission checks of $6,000, $8,000, or maybe even $15,000 per month. But how do you make twice or three times that amount? Well, the key to making real money month after month is understanding the multiplier and the power that comes from leveraging shared mutual interests. Our business is uniquely qualified to close short sales 100% of the time, regardless of the type of loan or who holds or guarantees the mortgage note in all 50 states. And now we have added video training for realtors so they can leverage our expertise and they can make more money by simply completing 7 easy steps with each short sale. The true power in our training is to free you up, to put you in position to leverage our ability to close a high volume of short sales, enabling you to dramatically increase your commission earnings and thereby enabling our company to profit from negotiating, buying, and arranging successful short sale transactions. This is an interconnected relationship. You will learn how to make, in our video trainings, $250 to $900 per hour listing short sales without ever speaking with a bank. Our 7 easy step process will reduce the time you spend on each short sale by about 70%. And most trained realtors will only spend about 8 hours over the span of 90 days on each short sale that we work on. Realtors working with us will no longer have to waste countless hours reading about the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and the too big to fail bank short sale rules and requirements. They don't waste time reading HOFA and HAMP guidelines and requirements, and they don't waste their time uploading documents in the Bank of America Equator system. With our 7 easy step process, you won't have to stress over an improper, implied, or inappropriate fiduciary duty to a seller or a lien holder. And you won't lose sleep over a possible lawsuit from a seller who blames you for mismanaging a short sale. You'll learn how to convert nearly every one of your listing appointments into a listing that you can profit from. You'll be more aware of the concerns and motivations of the seller with negative equity and insufficient income facing imminent default. And you'll benefit from a simple yet powerful tool that we provide so you will know upfront if the seller is a cooperative, motivated seller or a homeowner who may end up being a time waster. We use the word partner to describe our interconnected relationship to each other. We count on you to complete each of the 7 easy steps on each short sale, and you count on us to successfully close short sales nearly 100% of the time. You count on us to stay current on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and the too big to fail bank rules. Your duties and responsibilities are spelled out in the listing agreement, the listing amendment, the purchase and sale agreement, and the supplemental short sale addendum. And the 7 easy steps are fully explained in a 20-minute video that you can watch by simply opting in the box to the right. Now, I couldn't help but put together this slide. This is what's the dollar value of what we're talking about. First, you never have to talk with a bank negotiator while receiving full commissions. For some of you, that's almost priceless because it can be a real pain talking to some of these bank negotiators. You'll make $250 to $900 per hour working about 8 hours on every short sale. You don't have to keep up with GSE and too big to fail bank rules. Again, this frees you up to get more listings, to make more money. You will be held harmless from a possible lawsuit, and you won't have to be stressed over any implied or improper fiduciary duty to any lien holder. That can be worth thousands of dollars. And you'll learn the power of leverage. And really, that's the most valuable part of this whole video training. Now, here's the math. Assume a 50-50 realtor-broker split, to be conservative, and a $200,000 short sale. You complete all 7 steps in 8 hours and earn $375 per hour. Even if it took you 12 hours to complete the 7 easy steps, you're looking at hourly commission earnings of $250. And with an 80-20 split and a $450,000 short sale, your commission earnings could exceed $1,000 per hour. Now, actually, this math should be compared to the math of a realtor who's not working with us or who is not trained to do the 7 easy steps. And my calculation is that most of the typical realtors are going to be earning closer to $30, maybe $40 an hour. Some of them less than that, as they spend way too many hours to work on short sales. Now, here's what the typical realtor results look like. It takes 2 to 5 months to find a buyer for a listed short sale. The lender dictates value and largely affects the duration and the success rate of each short sale, particularly HOFA short sale listings. The realtor is unsure and uncertain on how to handle promissory note requests, junior liens, and HOA judgments, and these issues often result in unsuccessful short sale attempts. Most realtors spend 30 to 50 hours or more to complete a short sale over the course of 7 to 9 months with a national average of only a 35% success rate. This is not to say that you're listening to this and your success rate might be 50%, 60, 70%, but the national average is only about 1 in 3. So let's take a look at our success. We provide the lender with substantiated written evidence in support of our opinion of the current as-is value of the property given the harsh reality of its legal and physical characteristics. We only process non-HOFA negotiated short sales. Every complete short sale package submitted to the lender includes a cash offer with a proof of funds letter, enabling negotiations to start immediately. And our success is largely determined up front. So basically, our whole strategy and why we can achieve 100% success is largely worked out in the first couple weeks in the entire short sale process. Now the seller, let's talk about legal documents and how they set the stage for success. The seller grants authority to us, the buyer, with exclusive contract and equitable interest to list, market, and to enter into a contract with an independent third party. We disclose this to the lender. We disclose to the lender that the buyer may acquire the property as either a long-term investment or to acquire and immediately resell. And we tell the lender if we are required to provide a higher offer contract, we will be compensated in a separate contract for releasing our exclusive contract and equitable interest in the property. We provide notice and disclosure that the initial purchase price shall be based on the estimated negotiated debt at closing. And this notice and disclosure is provided in a document called a supplemental short sale addendum. We state that the seller agrees to authorize the buyer to prepare various negotiated offers with various prices without obtaining seller's signature or approval of each and every negotiated offer. And we state that the buyer's total purchase price at the end of the negotiated process shall be the negotiated balances of all liens, mortgages, and closing costs. Now, let's talk about what's actually in the Realtor video training that you get for free when you opt in. We're going to discuss, we have a video of the 7 easy steps. That's about a 20-minute video. There's separate either screenshots or short videos that go over the documents that we collect from the homeowner. We go over a document called a short sale questionnaire. That's the document that actually is in the first step of that 7 easy steps, and that will take about maybe 5 to 10 minutes to complete with the homeowner. There's an authorization to release. That's the document that the homeowner signs authorizing Neighborhood Realty Solutions to collect information and convey the seller's financial information to the seller's lien holders in the process of negotiating for a successful short sale. We use a non-agency independent contractor brokerage agreement. Now you can also use a residential listing agreement in your state. The particular non-agency independent contractor brokerage agreement is referenced in the code in Virginia, and it's well understood. You may want to use or adapt it in your state, and we can work with you on that at some future date. But we go over this document in a screenshot in a training video. We have a listing amendment, and that's used in either as an amendment to either the non-agency agreement or the residential listing agreement. We have a notice of contract. That's something that we simply put on public record in the county courthouse to basically state to the world that there's an exclusive contract and that the buyer has equitable interest in the property, at the point that the purchase and sale agreement was signed between the seller and our buyer. We have a supplemental short sale addendum. I briefly discussed it in this video, but we go over that and the key points of that in a video training. We have a non-HOFA form. That's just a one-page form that the seller owner of record will sign so that we are negotiating. It's a negotiated short sale. It's not a short sale where the value of the price is dictated by the lender. And then we have an affidavit of understanding. That's a full disclosure to the homeowner, so the homeowner knows everything they need to know about what a short sale is, and it states that we are not, and the broker is not acting as a foreclosure consultant, or we're not legal advisors or tax advisors. So even though we may know all of that information, we're having the seller sign that we're not acting in that capacity. Now, there's a bonus in our video realtor training, and that's this. This is something you would do for free, but we're making this a bonus. If you refer a realtor friend and to www.stoptalkingtobanks.com, so they come there, they watch the video, and they decide to opt in. This is something we want to do, and we end up doing a short sale with them. You get $250. If we end up doing 4 short sales a month with them, with your referred realtor friend, you're going to get a payment of $1,000 a month, or $250 for every short sale we do with your referred realtor friend. So you can see how this could add up in a hurry if you have 10 friends, and those maybe 6 or 8 of those friends actually send in deals that we work on. Well, you'll be getting extra checks in addition to the short sales that you send in to us. So when you're ready, it's pretty easy. You'll opt in the box to the right. You'll learn the 7 easy steps. And again, these steps on average will take you about 8 hours over the course of the entire short sale. So if the short sale takes 90 days, from the start to the end, you're going to spend about 8 hours. And you're going to earn additional referral fees. You're going to learn how to do that when you opt in. So that's it. We look forward to working with you. So opt in as soon as you're ready, and let's get started.